How's it going, G? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So tell me where you're coming from, your age, and your name.
Okay, so I'm from Poland. I'm 19 and my name is Oliver. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Ollie, that's what I'm gonna call you.
Okay, no problem. I've been called that my whole life, so so it's not
Nice.
an issue.
Nice. So what brought you to the real world platform, Ollie?
Okay, so actually it was my friend who was in copywriting campus for a while before I joined. So I was looking for some ways to make money.
Yeah.
I first started just I wanted to start on my own, so I knew that, but I didn't really know what should I actually do. So I started reading some books on self improvement,
Yeah.
like yeah, I started reading books on self improvement, but my friend, who was actually in a interview for a while, said that, man, you don't actually have a plan, and reading books won't solve any problem for you, and it isn't going to make you any money. So I just listened, decided to go all in, and decided to join the review after he told me how exactly it works. And
Yeah.
I think the most important selling point for me was that
Yeah.
is actually professors are actually guys who made it. And that's
Yeah.
the most important thing for me. And that was the biggest selling point because I felt like, how can you teach me, for example, how to do business if you never run a business before?
True.
So yeah,
A
yeah.
lot
So
of
I
people love
decided.
love to go on
Mhm.
theory of things, like the
Yeah,
theory of making money, the theory on business, the theory on running people. But let's be honest, you want to listen to the person who knows how to do it, who's done it already, knows how to navigate that
yeah,
market. That's just what it is, and that's what the professors are there for. Um, I
yeah,
was just speaking to one of the professors 2 days ago, Pope, and he was just saying to me how important it is whenever he gets a new piece of information or techniques that he's tried and he knows that he's successful. He'll go back to the beginning and he'll redo his videos so he can add in that piece of information because he understands how valuable it is to the students. So you're
yeah,
right. You really do want to be mentored or taught by someone who has done it. Why would you not? If I want to know how
yeah,
to, I want to know someone that has at least tried to fight before or understands it. Because why
yeah.
else? Like, why else would I be there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I applied it to almost every single part of my journey after that. So even when I started making money and like when I'm positioned like this, like I'm making around 5K a month for the last few months. So even now, I've, for example, entered my mentoring program and stuff like that, just to speed up the process, to learn from people that have actually done it,
Yeah,
and just not to guess, but to actually follow a proven path, because that's just, you do it faster. Let's be
yeah.
honest, it's better to spend some money and get more information and stuff like that, and just go all in on a proven path rather than just shooting and guessing and testing all by yourself.
As they say, pissing in the wind. We don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
We want to shoot with conviction. So, kind of walk us through what was your path through the real world. Like, where did you start? What was your campus? Did you always stay in one campus? What did you learn? How did you build? Kind of talk us through that.
Okay, so actually I've started in e-commerce campus. I
Mhm.
always wanted to do drop shipping, so that was my little dream before I even got on interview.
Mhm.
So I started with e-commerce and drop shipping, and let's be honest, I didn't have any money. I had like $200, so it was pretty hard to start a business with that. But it also taught me a lot, because I started, for example, going around my neighborhood and washing cars for money. I
Yeah.
adopted this hustle mindset. Okay, let's get some money in order to put it in our campaigns and stuff like that. So I constantly look for things to sell, for jobs to do. I even skipped some classes to just ditch the ditches. Like,
Yeah.
I was just I was looking for money everywhere, literally, just to put that in e-commerce. But
Getting
I
your hustle
quickly
on.
realized, yeah, I quickly realized it's hard to do e-commerce without any money. So I decided, okay, let's just get some money in, and
Mhm.
then I will come back to e-commerce. So that's when I actually started doing copywriting. I started doing copywriting, and to be honest, I stayed in copywriting campus for the rest. I haven't gotten back to dropshipping any since. I'm not going to lie. I first thought that copywriting, is just making some histories and writing some stuff like blogs and stuff like this. And when I actually got into copywriting and finally found out what exactly it is, then I just was amazed by it and went all in on copywriting campus, and that's where I stayed, and that's my current business model. I am also looking right now into some crypto campus in order to multiply some money that I actually get, so it does not sit on my bank account. And yeah.
Okay, so talk to us about copywriting. Exactly what is that? Because a lot of people probably don't even know what that is. What is copywriting?
Okay, so like I said, I first thought it was just writing some random words or on Google Doc, and that's it. But later we find out that it's actually a more like marketing, I would say. I would say it's more like marketing. So basically, in the copywriting campus, you just learn how to solve specific problems for client in order to get money for it, right? So you are looking to get specific objective, mostly is to generate revenue or generate new clients for your client. And you are doing copy, marketing funnels, marketing assets, Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever it takes in order to achieve that specific outcome. So basically, I would say that's copywriting. So it's achieving a specific outcome for your customer,
Yeah.
um,
So
by
it's kind of like
marketing
finding out
assets.
how to funnel people through
Yeah,
to your client as well. And that can be sometimes emails, it can be ads, it can be a multitude of
yeah,
things, but it's a finding a way to direct traffic to whatever the specific outcome is.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And that was yeah,
And
that's it
how did you
basically.
get your first client in that? How did you approach that? You just
So basically, I followed the steps laid out by professor. Didn't really want to experiment because
yeah,
the whole first part of my third W journey was experimenting with e-commerce and stuff, and I wasted a lot of time. So I decided, okay, fuck it, I will just follow the process laid out by a guy who actually made it. So I first made some warm outreach. I got two clients actually just from calling people I know, from talking to my dad, to other people that know people that have businesses and stuff like that. So that's the way I closed my first two clients and got some money and some experience in. The first two projects actually were SEO and just website design, so it
yeah.
wasn't really for generating clients and stuff like that. But quickly after that, professor launched a local student outreach,
Yeah.
which made you just going to your local firms, local businesses with email outreach, basically saying that you're a student, and you want to get some experience in the field, right? And I've closed a physiotherapist with it. I basically didn't deliver. I mean, he was profitable, but after a 4 months period of working together, he was like $400
Yeah.
in profit. So after that, I said, okay, I was literally broken after that, and I think I at my lowest when it comes
Yeah.
to the whole copywriting journey. I found out that, okay, that's not that easy. So I basically made a huge Google Doc, like 4, 5, 6 pages,
Yeah.
and wrote everything that I done wrong in this one with this one client. And
Yeah.
I made sure that I never ever made those mistakes again. And that was basically the start of my journey upwards. Yeah,
But that's good growth because
yeah,
a lot of that is down to mind frame and understanding that sometimes you are going to get the no's and sometimes you are going to make this mistakes, but it's how you capitalize off that moment of that. How do you pivot off the point where, okay, I've done something wrong here, I need to be accountable for what I've done. I understand what I did. How do I make sure it doesn't happen again? So you've able to do that. So that within itself is growth. That shows the growth of you as a person, even. So well done to
Yeah,
you.
I think that's also one of the most common things that when I am, for example, talking with people that I know that are
Yeah,
also making some money in Tier W, they also had a moment like this, like when everything just goes
yeah.
fuck, nothing works, everything fails, and they're just at their lowest, and that's the moment when they say, okay, fuck it, I'm going to get it done no matter what, and that's the start basically.
Another thing is as well that a lot of people do, and you can kind of speak on this, is it's very easy to follow the plan, and then when you start making money a little bit, you kind of divert and try to do your own thing, and you
Yeah.
realize actually you just dial it back, follow the steps that I need to that the professor's telling me to do, and because that was working, and if I keep doing that, then you can continue to make money.
Yeah, yeah, that's the quickest process. No, I'm not going to lie. That's the quickest process on how to make money. And for example, I think Professor is making it even easier right now.
Yeah,
I mean, basically, if you come to the copywriting campus right now, there is no way you won't make some money in it. I
yeah,
mean, it's pretty simple. Everything is the whole process of getting new clients, delivering for them. I mean, we have almost for everything, we have a template that you just need to
yeah,
follow. So you just need to put in the work, and everything else is almost done by itself, so it's
yeah.
very easy. It's very easy to do, to
Self-explanatory.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, kind of talk to me about the real world community because you said you've spoke to a couple people in there. How do you find the community inside the real world? What do you value about it, or how do you can you see it doing better?
I think the most important part of the TW community is that you actually have people who are like-minded near you. So that was a big thing for me, because in a moment when I started, for example, doing copywriting, and I was talking about, okay, let's get some money and let's make some money and stuff like that. My friends started to give looks and stuff like that. So okay, I decided that I need to know new people that are actually have similar goals to me and stuff like that. So that's a huge plus for TRW, and it helped me a lot just to
Yeah,
know that there is a lot of people who actually want the same goal as you do. So that was a huge thing for me. And yeah, I have a few G's that I actually met in person a few times, and I talk to them almost every day, and we hop on a calls and stuff like that. So basically they became my new friends, new better friends. They actually want to make some money and not to just sit and pretend they are doing something. So that was a huge thing for me. When it comes to it getting better, I would say definitely you need to just find your own people on your own level. That's a huge part. That was a huge part for me, because there's a lot of people, for example, in the copywriting campus. I think because that's the most basic one.
yeah,
It's very easy to just go and start doing copy. You don't need to have any money, you don't need to have any knowledge and stuff like that. So a lot of people decide to just go in copywriting, and because of that, there is also a lot of people that are still matrix minded and don't
yeah.
really know what they're doing and stuff like that. So you just need to find people on your level. And I think that's the biggest part. I wouldn't say it needs any improvements. You just need to look for people that are in the same place like you, and if you level up, your friends also level up and stuff like that. So I think you just need to find people on the same level as you are. Yeah.
You spoke on something there about before your friends kind of like you say to them make money and they're kind of like unsure, and then you find people in the real world who are like more on your level. That is actually called a chamber of echoes, and what it is it's very easy to be in such a small bubble and you don't realize that there's so much that can be achieved outside of that bubble. And because everyone else is like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, it's so easy to fall into that mindset of, okay, this can't be done, or I can't make money, or I need the matrix system. I need a system to rely on rather than building your own system. And that's why I think the real world's so important, because we try to show our students that actually there is no amount of money that you should think is not possible to make. Even now, you're making 5 grand a month. There is people making 100 grand a month. There's students that I speak to making 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand a month. There's always money to be made, and it can be made, but you have to believe that it can be made, and also you need the tools and application for that. So that's why we try to make sure that our students are, this is why the community is so important, and posting your wins is so important, so you can see like this person started as the same as me and now they're making 50k a month. That means it is possible for me to make 50k a month. When we see something's possible, then we start to do it. That's why it's good that even the fact that you had your friend who introduced you to it, once he'd seen it's possible and he could show you, he saw you're like-minded, he was able to gel, and kind of now you're both in here making money.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So you do get the chamber of echo a lot.
Yeah.
You and your friend work together currently?
We are working on some projects. We
Yeah,
are working on some projects, but we are also a bit a different level right now.
yeah,
So we are not working very strictly with each other. We have our two clients together,
yeah,
but most of the clients we do it just by ourselves, and that's it. I also have another G who is in the same niche
yeah,
as me, so I'm working more with him, let's say, because if he gets anything done and it works, for example, like he gets a winning creative, for example, right, then I also implement it in my every single one of my clients and stuff like that, so we work very strictly with each other. But with the G that actually introduced me to TRW, we are living very closely to each other, like 1 kilometer away, so we are doing two clients together, and we get some sparring sometimes. So that's
nice,
it basically.
nice. So you kind of in the fitness campus as well?
Yeah, I'm also in the fitness campus. I'm also in the fitness campus, but to be honest, I will working out for at least 4 years right now. So I've been working out even before joining the TRW.
Dope. What do
So
you do?
so yeah,
You a boxer? Are you MMA? What are you?
I currently box. I currently box, and I just going to the gym basically. But yeah, I'm more on a boxing side right now. So
Yeah,
basically, with the G's from TRW, we also every time we meet, we actually meet, we are sparring
yeah.
and testing each other how we progressed between the meetings. So yeah.
Me and Rory's got a boxing match coming up in December, actually, so we're really excited for that. That's pretty cool. It's
Uh,
always good, especially like sparring with your boys. It's there's nothing like it, like being pushed each time, like everyone's pushing each other. It's an amazing feeling. If you can take that same thing and apply it to anything you do in life, you just want to get better all the time. Like I think
yeah,
healthy competitive nature is important. That's also why I think the real world community is important, because it creates a healthy competitive nature where it's not based on envy, but it's based on seeing someone doing good and I can do that. Then you get
yeah,
there, then the next person, and like you can, it just continuously pushes everyone, that whole brotherhood or or the group community inside there pushes everything up, so that we're always trying to be better. And again, it comes back to like being around the like-minded people. That's why that's so
yeah.
important.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, one of the biggest drivers of actually me doing stuff was just looking at the Wins channel and saying, "What the fuck? Why I'm not making this kind of money and these people do?"
Yeah,
And I'm just straight to the work, and yeah. So even for example, it was a huge motivation for me always, because I'm a very competitive person. I always been a very competitive person. So even before doing money, for example, in games, in sports and everything basically I was doing.
always want to be the
The
winner.
Yeah, I
Do
always
the
wanted to
same,
win.
bro.
Yeah, so I just applied the same mindset to
To
making
work.
money, and yeah, it was amazing from the day since.
That's amazing. So, do you live with your parents currently?
Yeah, I'm currently living with my parents, but I'm going to go away soon. That's my
How
plan.
do they feel
Yeah,
about you being in the real world? Are they happy that you're doing well, or how is
yeah,
it?
yeah, of course, of course,
Yeah,
of course, they're happy that I'm doing well. They are very, let's say, motivational for
And
me.
supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, supporting. Yeah, they're very supporting for me. So so that's a huge part. It's not been always like that, because I mean it's pretty hard to support somebody if in your thinking he's doing a wrong choice, for example. Because I completely didn't care, for example, about my matura exam, right? About my final exam of the college. I just didn't care about it. High school, sorry. I just didn't care about it, and just said it that okay, I will write it, but I don't care. I'm going to make money other way, so I don't really need it, and I won't go to college. And that was a part when my parents was a bit shocked, and
Yeah.
then they didn't really knew what to do. So yeah, that when they were a little less supportive. But after I started making money, like 2K there, 3K there, and
Yeah.
stuff like that, they
And they start
just
to see.
yeah, they
They
just
start to
don't
see the
care
light.
right now that I didn't go to college and stuff like that.
But it's the same thing I said before. It's like it's very hard for people to imagine something unless they see it. You'll be
Yeah,
so shocked at how many people are closed minded of the things because they think it's not possible because they've just never seen or it's never been presented to them before. So that's why it's important that you broaden your outlook and your outreach and how you see things. And there's no reason why you can't do anything. If it's been done, you're not reinventing the wheel.
yeah,
So if it's been done, it can be done again. And if it can be done again, you can do it. You could be the one who does it, you know? So
yeah.
but I will say this though, even when it comes to like college work and stuff, I know you're not in college anymore, but even take those moments as a lesson. So if you can be great in something you don't like doing, you will be amazing in the thing that you do like doing. So
Yeah,
almost have a mentality that instead of falling in love with one specific thing, fall in love with the fact of winning. Because if you can make winning be your driving force, you're always going to achieve to win, regardless of what it is. Whether you like it or not, doesn't
yeah,
matter. What matters is the win. That's where the pleasure comes from. That's where you at the end, it's like, even though that was shit, I fucking hated that, but I
yeah,
won. I did it. I beat the game, you know?
yeah.
So always try to adapt their mentality. And you already have an amazing mentality, but just like a little, it's always good to add to your arsenal.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So you've probably had people before saying that, well, before you joined, like real world's not the right place, or how are you going to make money, or think it's a scam. What was your thing that you told them, or have you ever spoke to those people after you've made it and said like, "Ha, see, look,
I've actually never had people before I joined TRW, because I just joined, didn't care, didn't tell anyone, and
yeah,
just went all in on this. So I didn't have people before, but I had some people after that it's a scam and stuff like that. And basically I just said that, look, I'm paying around $50 a month
mhm,
for a thing that actually made me this bunny mac in my first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of being in tier W. And right now I'm making almost 100 times more than what I'm paying. So I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest. I just show them the results, and before I was able to even show them with the results, I was just showing the results of other people. Like, look, I'm paying only $50 per month, and there are people here that are making thousands with the same strategy that I'm using currently. So I think that's a no-brainer. And I mean, $50 isn't even a money. I mean, it's very little. So yeah, basically people spend that kind of money on I would say shit. Yeah,
everything,
for yeah, even
cigarette,
for food.
food,
Yeah,
beer, we're going out drinking.
yeah, and you
It's
can
one weekend.
yeah, yeah, one party gone, and you can just have TRW that will be a huge asset for you in making money. So yeah,
Stamped and sealed, tested and tried, and you know it's going to
yeah,
work. You said you're being taught by people in the game who have done it, who are doing it, and are currently making millions. So there's no reason why you can't do it. There's no reason why you can't achieve it.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on today, man. You've been absolutely amazing. Keep doing what you're doing and keep pushing forward. And we want to be doubling that 5 grand. That's going to become 10 grand, and that 10 grand
Yeah.
is going to be
Give
20.
me 2 months. Give me 2 months.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. You better make sure now. We're gonna hold you to that.
I'm making some moves about it.
I appreciate you coming on today, man. You've been amazing.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much once again. Thanks for having me,
Of
and
course.
yeah.